Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we're playing some Raid Shadow Legends, and this is going to be a little bit of a series. I suppose I will make one episode every day, around 8 to 10 minutes, talking about different champions. I'll try and go through literally all of them, and it should be a lot of fun. But before that happens, I literally just opened up 2 ancient shards and I got a legendary, so that's great. Because I was kind of thinking, like, should I open this on video? And I decided not to, but luckily I'm on my PC, so I can do that. So I got an Errol. We'll talk about him, not today. Today we're going to be talking about Arbiter, but it's cool. I got a legendary. I'll take it. So yeah. Yeah. Hey there. Okay. Excellent. It's cool. Someone actually recognized me. So yeah, it's time for us to just do a free pack, just to get rid of it. Yeah, I tried to get rid of all the notifications beforehand. So let's without any further ado, let's go ahead and do stuff. So yeah, today we're going to be talking about Arbiter, and this series will include me just talking about where I would use the champion, what I would do, what kind of stats I would look for, and kind of where she could be useful. And we're starting out with Arbiter because in my mind she's the best speed giver there is / turn meter, and she would not have been the best if Siphi had the speed aura, but as Arbiter has an insane speed and turn meter stuff and revive combined with a great speed aura, it makes her, in my opinion, the best speed / turn meter giver. Turn meter equals pretty much speed. So what you want on your Arbiter is okay, so like the first priority on her, in my opinion, is speed. You want to make her as quick as possible, because if she goes first, she's going to be very useful for you. So the main places I would use her, well, I suppose I'll cover her stats, and then I'll cover where I would use her. So I would focus a lot on speed on her, and I would also focus a lot on accuracy, because her skill number 2, if we go over her skills, because with this skill, she has a chance to remove everyone's debuffs, or anyone's buffs, or decrease the duration by 1 turn, rather. And what's making her so insanely useful is this one. It places a great attack buff on all allies, and it increases their turn meter, and it's on a pretty low cooldown. And this one is also nice. It places weaken, which will make people take more damage. And then this one is also great. And what's also nice is if she actually does revive people, she will gain an extra turn. And her aura is just insane as well. So now you know about her skills. So what you need to be looking for is accuracy for her skill number 2. You need to be looking for speed to make you go first, because if you go first, especially in a system you guys know very well, Arena, it will be very helpful for you. And once you've got speed and accuracy covered, I have seen a lot of people do a lot of crit damage and crit rate, but obviously, in my opinion, you should focus a lot on health on her, because the healthier she is, the better, the more survivable she is, and that's very useful for you. I also see some people focus a lot on defense, I suppose, but health is very important. But in this scenario, it would be a priority number 3, because the speed and accuracy is very important. If you have a resistance team, but you still want to use her, and you have like a resistance aura, then I probably would focus a lot on resistance on her as well. Or if you have a super quick Lysandra, I suppose you could want some resistance on Arbiter if you don't use immunity set. But resistance is mainly used if you don't expect her to go first. If you expect her to go first, I don't think resistance is terribly necessary. And then, yeah, so resistance is an either or, but I think health is very important for her. So yeah, this is important to note. Health, speed, accuracy, the 3 top. Speed being number 1, accuracy being number 2, and health being number 3. The rest is also fun, like we've seen, like 154% crit damage, like she can do a lot of damage, but she's not a damage dealer, so that shouldn't be, it shouldn't overstep health, speed, or accuracy, in my opinion. And her masteries, you can kind of do however you want. This is how I have my masteries. I do suggest going to Ayumi Love's website. if you just search for it. And they have a lot of very good hero guides as well, especially mastery guides. This is how I have mine, however, in case you wanted to copy it. And yes, so she's pretty good. It's definitely worth putting the skill books onto her if you have any. And yeah, that's it for her there. And what system she is useful in? I dare say she is quite useful in Arena. If we look at all the top players, we see Arbiter being pretty common in most of the teams. Arbiter is a very common sight in Arena, especially high tier Arena. So when you get her, hopefully she will help you a lot. And I do suggest building her as a speed lead, because that's kind of mainly where she's useful, I suppose. In Arena, I suppose, like her aura and everything is great. Also, she's very common in Tag Team Arena if you want to use her there. As you can see, she's very often in like every formation. And if we head out of that, she's obviously incredibly useful in High Elf script. So when that's open, I suggest using her there. She's going to help your team a lot. She's also useful in progressing further in campaign. But as for Nightmare campaign, she may not be as useful. There's other better replacements than her. But she can be used in Nightmare campaign as well. But yeah, like finishing Brutal campaign is rather easy with most champions. I did it with a Kale and Jizzo, so literally everything works. And then we're going to be heading over to dungeons. She's useful in most dungeons. If we look here, she's actually not used here for me. If you have this team, then you don't really need her, especially with the potion dungeons. But she can be useful in Ice Golem's Peak. She can also, if I can click here, she can, yeah, I'm not even using her there, I suppose. Where am I using? I think I'm using her in the dragon setup here. Yeah, so she is useful. I suppose she's useful in most dungeons, to be honest. If you don't have anything special, I suppose Spider's Den is one of the places I wouldn't really think about using her, because this is like a superior team, I suppose. But if you don't have Colt Arts and Royal Guards and stuff, she's definitely useful to increase your turn meter and attack and stuff to take the Spider down the little bit of a slower way. So just note that at least. And Fire Knight's Castle, she can also be useful here. It's like she can be useful most places. It depends on what champions you have. But she can be useful in most of the dungeons, I dare say. Then we're going to be heading over to Clan Boss. I'm not in a clan currently, but the Clan Boss she can also be very useful in, but she's not known to be used in a lot of Clan Boss teams, so I wouldn't really use her if you're planning to do Ultra Nightmare and Nightmare Boss. But she can be useful early on, especially if you don't have a classical Clan Boss build team. She can help you out there, I suppose, as an early/mid game. Very early mid though, not mid and late game, like later mid and end game. She's not going to be useful in Clan Boss. Doom Tower, she will obviously also be very helpful in. She will be able to help you by reviving and increasing turn meters and having... the aura doesn't really work here, so you can place her elsewhere. But she can be useful, I dare say, in both of the Doom Tower things. So overall, she's a pretty useful champion. Like, she's an overall great champion. This champion was actually one of the earlier newly added champions. Like, I think she was one of a very early newly released champion, and she has really changed the game a lot. So if you get her, you can get her for missions. If you get her, you will have a very easy time. But by the time you're strong enough to get her, you have a pretty decent team for many things anyway, because you have to beat dungeon 20s and stuff. So just keep that in mind. It's very difficult to get the formation, so I do recommend, if you have a budget and you're spending it a little bit on the game, I do suggest doing some void shards on the 2x event. Even a 10x for specific champions, if Arbiter is a part of it, probably why not? But the 2x overall is probably a pretty good event to save it on. So I would definitely save the void shards, because she's a void champion, so she can only be gotten from void shards, if not the missions. And yeah, so hopefully you will be able to get her, and she's overall a very good champion. So yeah, that's about it for this video. If you have enjoyed, you should leave a like, you should subscribe, and I will talk to you guys